with Vrksasana, or often known as tree pose. Let's just do the pose to begin with. So place your hands on your hips, lift your right leg up, turn the knee out, place the foot, the whole sole of your foot, any part of your inner thigh. Then placing your hands on your hips, press the bottom of the right foot against the left inner thigh, press them against each other, and stretch your arms straight in front of you. And with an inhalation, go ahead and stretch your arms up. Keep the weight of the body more on the heels. You'll find it's very easy to go to the toes, but can you move the weight of your body to the heels and use the same action of the arms we did in the previous pose? Lift and stretch the upper arms to lengthen the spine. Look straight. Now slowly release. Bring your hands down. Bring your foot down. Once more. Come back to Tadasana. Come back to Samasthiti. Shoulders back, elbows straight, looking forward. Vrksasana on the left side. So same way, lift your left leg up, turn the foot, place the foot against your right inner thigh, and keep the bottom of your foot, the sole of your foot, pressing against the right inner thigh, kind of sandwiching both together. So I can go once to the right or the left, or instead I can push equally and start to lift your pelvis up. Keep this compactness of the hips. Stretch your arms. Imagine you're squeezing a block, so it gives your upper arms a bit more strength. It also helps to keep our torso from swinging us offline. So use the upper arms, lift the chest, lift the side chest, and press the foot into your right inner thigh. Look straight. Now slowly release. And bring your hand down, bring your foot down. Now I'm guessing it's not that easy, yes? So perhaps it is easy to be on one side, or you found not so easy to stay in balance. Well, we are going to practice this in two other ways. So I'm sure if you're practicing at home, you have a wall. And it's often a very good thing to actually work with a wall because it helps us to understand and force parts of our body which are not so stable or strong. Like I might find it very easy to stand on one leg and the other leg I keep falling off. So the wall teaches the weaker side to get stronger. So I'm going to take myself right to the wall and I'm going to take a moment just to stand. So how are we going to stand? We're going to keep our feet a little bit away from the wall. Keep your head, your shoulders, your buttocks touching the wall. That way, you know that you're kind of relying on the wall for your balance. Now lift your right leg up. So same way, lift the right foot up. Now because you have the wall as your reference point, you know if you can move your shoulder back, your hip back, and press the foot. Let's reach our arms straight forward. And as you reach your arms, take your arms up, touch the thumb against the wall. And the same way, we might find ourselves moving in all kinds of ways. So this way, when you press the fingers into the wall, you can use that touch. Just the thumbs are touching. It's kind of like an L shape. So I let my thumbs touch and I try to lift up, stretch up. Moving the left outer hip in, the right foot pressing, and looking straight. Now slowly bring your hands down and let's do the other side. So once more, stand with your feet together, shoulders back, elbows straight, lift your left leg up, place the left foot, and please note, usually we want to take our foot higher, and sometimes if you see how the foot is turning, and this doesn't really help us to be balanced. So if you're tighter in the hips, it is okay if you can't lift your leg up that high and it's a bit lower, but you do want your whole foot to turn so the whole bottom of the foot rests on your inner thigh. Then you can stay here resting against the wall, so you're not really bothered about balance, but focus your attention on this standing leg. So instead of hanging out on the hips, we want to bring this outer hip in. And when our hips become more firm and stable, then the pelvis can lift, the spine can lift, and then, of course, the arms become an additional route to extending the spine. You want not to hang into the hip, but to really move that right outer hip in, shift your head back, chest back, and stretch up both sides of your spine. Now slowly release and bring your hand down, bring your leg down. Now there's another way to do the pose, yes? There are many ways that we can actually look at the pose, and this actually helps us to get stronger in the pose. So for this, I'm just going to use this counter so it's easy for you to see. So for now, I'm not mirroring you. So let's start with the wall. So I'm starting with the wall. I have my left side touching the wall. And in terms of distance, if I stand, I want to be in such a way that I can rest my hand on the wall. I'm not leaning into the wall. I'm standing on my feet, right? Now we are going to, I'll still keep using this side so you can observe my side view. Once I've placed my hand on the wall, you're going to lift your right leg up and move the knee out to the side. Place the foot against the inner thigh. Now, most likely when we are tighter in the groins, the knee comes forward. So you press the foot into the thigh, work on moving this outer hip into the body, and see if you can move the knee back. But don't move the hip back. That's a big difference. So this is working from the hip, whereas if I keep my hips compact and kind of like a door hinge, you're working the mobility of your groins by moving the knee back. So this way, you can work on the additional mobility of the legs. At the same time, you're not so bothered about balance and build strength on your standing leg. Look straight. If you want, you can even stretch your arms up. You can take the other hand up as well. So you don't end up leaning into the wall. You push away from the wall, stretch up. Look straight. Also, I could be falling forward on my toes, but I'm going to really move my body weight back like a Vrksasana action, so I end up on my heels. Now release, bring your hands down, bring your foot down. Take a moment to stand, and let's turn around the other way. So once more, standing in Vrksasana. This way you can see how my thighs are forward, my waistline is forward, so I need to shift. So I move my root of the thighs back. And yes, it feels like I'm falling, so I have to move the buttocks in, see that there's a firmness in this side, and then might disturb it a little bit as I lift my left foot up and I place my foot flat on my right inner thigh. Now, of course, I want my right buttock not to drop, to go down, lifting the right hip, moving the knee back. Be on your left heel. So again, you want to see you are not falling on your right thigh. Sorry, we're using our left leg now. So you don't want to be falling forward on your right thigh. You want to move it back. You're back in Vrksasana. If you feel balanced, you can work with one arm, or you can even stretch both arms up. Your knee goes back, your hip moves forward, and you're standing steady on the standing leg. In this case, it's your right heel. Now slowly release, bring your hand down, and turn around and face forward. Okay. So that was Vrksasana, or often known as tree pose.